Hi there, everybody. This is Pastor Jackie. I thought I'll get on. Whew. I gotta share this. I gotta share it because it's really heavy on me. And, you know, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, these are all platforms that we come and we try to share advice to one another just so that, we can have some type of vehicle of living life comfortably, right? But what I've noticed here is that people are gaining off of each other's weaknesses and struggles or woes or whatever. And I really don't want to talk about this, but I have to go here because, anytime women are engaged to be married, that is a lot of commitment. You have went through maybe years or months in hopes and preparation to get down the aisle to marry the man that you love and vice versa. And then children come into the union, right? And I'm not saying that marriage is easy because it's not. Every marriage has its struggles. Every marriage go through something, some trials, some traumas. A whole lot of things can happen in a marriage, right? But it's up to two people to agree to work through them if it's workable. But it's never okay for us to ever open our marriage up for others to come inside of it and destroy it. Now, I often wonder, and I'm just going to say this, I often wonder what kind of pleasure do a single woman get from a married man? Because I'll say it this way. Maybe the pleasure you get is the trinkets, the dinners, the extra curriculum, whatever you want to call it, right? Maybe you escape the full responsibility of what it takes to become a wife. But do you ever think within your conscious mind that if you ever decided to settle down and become the role that you're interfering in, would you appreciate it? Would you agree with someone coming in and destroying a life that you're attempting to build with an individual that you stood at the altar and you promised that you would spend eternity with, right? But see, you know who gets really, really hurt in this? And I want to say this because a lot of you guys are evading what's really happening here. See, there are children that are created in all of these unions, right? The majority of marriage that come about now, they're children. They're a product of two people coming together, committing to live life together forever and to raise their children and prepare them for the same journey. But it's interrupted by adultery or infidelity, however you want to call it, extramarital affair. But what you don't look at is what God initially created for us is never for us to have sex on the outside of marriage. But that has become something that people do on a regular, and we can't seem to fight the temptation of walking inside of what God set aside for the marital bed, right? And because of our own weaknesses and desires, because once you prematurely start having relations before time, or your inquiring mind wants to know about these type of things, you decide to get involved prematurely inside of having relations sexually before time. Because technically, the virgin is what you're supposed to be when you enter into marriage, right? But that's few far in between. I came to say this. There's a right and there's a wrong. And right now, you have a world full of immorality. A world full of people that thinks it's okay to violate marriage from all ends. I'm not just talking about from a woman end, I'm talking from a man's end. Anytime you do not respect the marital vows, then I have to look at you and your integrity as a person and your character as a person, because you have to at one point in your mind think, if I ever cross this same road of getting to marriage, because let me tell you something, there are a lot of black women that are not married. There are a lot. For different sections of reasons, they're not married. And even though they're not married, they don't mind sharing someone else's spouse, or they don't mind having all of these different individuals having relations with them and not keeping to themselves. And I think the high moral standard here is, even if I'm not married, I should not share myself, because your body is a temple of God, right? If you go over and read Proverbs, it says your price is higher, cost of the price of a ruby. And I don't think women understand the value, the worth that God sees you as. And if you can ever come to understanding your price, how high it is, you wouldn't just be so free with giving yourself away. You will take the time to make a person respect you and to value you for who you are. Not for just your out extremity. I'm talking about you as a person, as an individual. Your character, your intelligence, your beauty. You got to look at all those things and make someone measure up to the cost. But when you don't see yourself and you don't value yourself, you will allow anything to happen in your life. And then when the consequences and things begin to happen in your life, then you're angry with the whole world. I thought I would get on here and say this because, we all know that this Brene thing is playing out all over social media, and it's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking because she has a mother, and I believe right here is a place where her mother should rescue her. I believe her mother should step up to her and literally sit her down or take her into counseling, because there's something greater going on here. There's some emotional imbalancement. There is some depression going on. There's a lot going on with her. And we're all looking at it, and it's shameful. And it's coming at a cost, because she's not only destroying herself, but she's destroying another woman. And we, as Black women, we have to come together and respect the foundation of where we come from. We come from struggle. We come from hard times. And we have to now understand that we have to be more understanding of that and more in reality of that, and not to interfere in what God calls sacred. So I pray and hope that this message reach the heart or penetrate the heart of women all over the world, that if you're even considering doing something like this, please don't. Because you're not just hurting the wife, you're hurting the children. If there are children involved, please save the children, because their future is wrapped in that union. You guys be blessed on this Wednesday. Bye for now.